What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Lake Julian Disc Golf Course, and we're going to be looking at the Firebird slot. The classic 9304. Many disc manufacturers make a disc in that slot. I don't have all of them. I have 6 or 7. So we're gonna test and see, because I've come to realize I don't like the Firebird when I'm playing at courses that are short, but the Firebird's not bad when I'm playing courses where I need a little bit longer forehands. So distance wise, where do we actually need to be? Do we need to be throwing the Firebird? Do I need to be going with the Thought Space Omen? Do I need to disc all the way up to the splice? Like, distance-wise, where do I need to be sitting at? Because I need it somewhere in between. I basically need the slot in between a pyro forehand and a PD forehand. I don't really have anything in that zone. I could throw some of my 7-speed fairway drivers, but all of them require a little bit of touch, and I can't just kind of yam on them and get them to flex out. Since I pulled these 3 out, we are going to throw these 3 along with the Draco that is currently the one in my bag, which the Draco and the Sexton Firebird are the same mold, but since this is Millennium, they just press it flat as soon as it comes off the mold. So instead of the soft dome you might see from a Sexton, it's going to be just flat, but with the same rim. All right, a couple of flex forehands. I'm gonna put the splice back. I don't think I can make it across the water on this hole. So we're gonna go Omen, Draco, and then Sexton, and just watch how quick they fight out of it. Watch distance markers. We're just trying to see if it fits in between the pyro and the PD, or is it too close to the pyro, or is it too close to the PD? Well, that was trash. I need to put that a lot higher if I'm going to throw it like that. There is. That might have been why. There's a little bit, I didn't feel it until just now. A little bit of left to right wind. So this angle, wind blowing this way, is going to get pushed down. So I'll try to be a little bit flatter here with this Sexton. And now for the Draco. Oh, yikes. It's dry and it's safe, but that is absolutely not where we wanted to be. That was the only one I didn't really flex. That Sexton, though, did you see how long it held that turnover for? I didn't really give it a lot, but it just kind of, it's almost like it's a negative something. Like it has a little bit of flip, a little bit of torque up, and it just, the Draco's a little better about it. I think it might be too close to a PD. So for comparison's sake, I did bring out a PD. This is basically brand new. I bought it 2 days ago. And it's got a little bit of wear on it, but it's basically brand new. It's C-Line I bought 2 days ago. it's still gonna be pretty stable. I'm gonna throw this on a forehand. We're gonna watch how straight it holds and how aggressively it fades. Then I'm gonna throw the other, not the Omen, but I have this year's Z Swirl Captain's Raptor, the Draco again, and a Cosmic Neutron Flare. We're gonna throw 4 of these, and which one of these is more distance? Which one of these is less distance? Which one of these is, well, I think the flare is gonna be the most overstable. Threw it on just a baby hair of hyzer. It flipped up to almost flat. So it held the angle, flipped up just the tiniest bit, and then a consistent gradual fade. That is amazing. I love that shot. I throw that shot a lot. However, some of these fly more like that shot than others, and I'm not trying to have too much overlap with almost the exact same disc. I want something different. So Draco, it does fade a little bit harder, but the rest of the flight very similar to the PD. Now, flat cap wrap. Very different disc. And now the flare says 9403.5, but I don't look like 3.5. That's bordering on tilt splice territory, just for funsies. Here's the splice. I don't know which one of those is more overstable. That one might have to be its own separate fun video. The Draco is a good disc. And for forehands, it is a little bit more comfortable than the PD. However, if I'm not stepping away from the PD, if I'm going to keep a PD in the bag, I don't need a forehand and a backhand disc when the PD can work for both. And the Draco does not fly as consistently or nearly as comfortable on a backhand. But do I need the flare or the splice? Or do I need the Captain's Raptor? Or do I need the Omen? Or do I need a Fireball? Like which? Yes, I did bring out the Fireball too. And we'll see that on the next hole. But realistically speaking, I may have made a mistake and forgot to bring a pyro. So we don't have that as a distance gauge marker for us. So we'll just have to go off of where I remember pyros landing. And hopefully we can figure out the right discs. Look how pretty he is. So this hole I can get a pyro there, but I have to throw it so hard that if I'm a little off on the release, results can vary widely. So I'm looking for something I can throw easy and flat. Well, not easy, firm and flat, and still have enough to get all the way up to the circle, not just up on top of the lip. I want to try if I can get all the way up there. So we're gonna try the Captain's Raptor first. See, I want something that gets a little bit higher. This is not gonna do it, but the flare is just beef. Well, that happened. And now we're gonna throw the Proton Fireball. This one has seen a little bit of wear, but it's interesting that the Fireball and the flare have almost the same flight numbers. The flare has even more glide on the flight numbers, but they don't fly the same. Yeah, that was better. I think I'm still trying to get even more. So maybe PD is the play. Now, we're not going to empty the bag on this one, but we are going to throw quite a few. Just to kick it off, I'm going to throw the PD. But before I do that, I want to show this profile. This is the PD. This is that other disc. I'll tell you which one that one is here in a second. But that specific disc goes a little beyond everything else, just in terms of hand feel. It feels better than almost every other disc that I brought out here today. So that's why I kind of keep migrating towards that disc. I'm giving everything else a shot, but I really like that one. All right, PD, flex forehand. See, that is easy distance for a flex forehand. The rest of these, if I get that distance, I'm gonna have to throw it way harder. So I'm looking for something that is kind of the same style of shot, but doesn't go that far, even if I throw it a little bit harder. So let's go ahead and, well, I'm just gonna throw real quick. Again, for funsies, this one has the smallest chance at making the bag, and only if I'm in a place where I'm gonna need a shot like this. This is the splice. I'm keeping it because it's fun. I'm keeping it because it's useful, but it's not in the bag because the uses are very few and far between. That was about as much chop angle as I can get it without actually turfing it. All right, now for the discs that I think are kind of in that category. There are three. The Firebird, well, actually, I'm gonna throw the Draco too. The Draco as well, just two. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Draco. I'm gonna try to replicate the PD line, and let's see if we get any distance differences. But I think this one is too similar to the PD, which is why I think the Draco has a limited time in the bag. Well, much less chop angle, much lower to the ground, still went as far as the splice. So the three discs that I'm kind of looking for in this slot, or looking at currently, are the Proton Fireball, the Captain's Raptor, and the Omen. And these all seem to have kind of the same shot shape, feel, flight. They are slightly different hand feels and slightly different depths. I do think, I don't think the Omen is plus, if it is plus mode, it is very, very faint. Not nearly as much as the Fireball. Interesting. Yeah, let's go flex forehand. Let's see distance-wise, where do these finish out? I'm gonna throw the Captain's Raptor first. Now the Fireball. A little skippier. Might just hit some hard pan. The disc that I was showing you right next to the PD is the Thought Space Omen. Something about this disc in this plastic it just feels so good. Now, Let's just throw it. Throw it real quick and then we'll talk. So the Thought Space Omen gives me the reliability, control, and confidence of the super overstable discs. But for some reason, that Omen kind of feels like a PD. It doesn't look like it. When I held it up, it was way further apart than I thought it was. But when I'm holding that next to a flare or a splice or a Firebird, that one kind of feels like a PD, and I'm not sure why it is. But because that feel is so comfortable to me, I'm kind of leaning in that direction. The Fireball might make a return trip. The Captain's Raptor might make a return trip. But I think for right now, I'm stepping away from the true Firebirds because they just go too far. It doesn't fill the gap in my bag that I'm looking for. So Draco's coming out. One more hole will show you what I think I know what I'm gonna put in the bag. So since it's come down to these three, and since I've actually done a lot in recent memory with both the Captain's Raptor and the Omen, for now, I think we're gonna put the Fireball back in the bag. It's either going to be amazing or it's going to give me a fresh perspective that I haven't had throwing these two solo molds for a little while. So let's get a fresh start. We're gonna put the Fireball in the bag. For now, Draco's coming out. It just goes too far. It gets me PD, distance, Firebird shot, shape. I don't want that. I want... Actually, you know what probably would be perfect is a resistor, but those are really hard to come by right now because they haven't been made in a while. So while we wait for resistors to come out, Fireball is it for the time being. Let's go ahead and throw the two yellow ones, Captain's Raptor and the Omen. See how far we can get. Oh, that was terrible. See why I need a fresh start? A fresh perspective. Let's throw this really pretty Fireball for a little while. Hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff though, make sure to comment all of that down below. Especially if you have those discs. If you think you have a disc that could stick into this slot. And I've already tried the Felons. Felons aren't it either. So before you comment Felon, something that's not a Felon, not a Firebird, that's similar to like a Captain's Raptor, Omen, Fireball, something that is actually kind of stable. Yeah, comment those down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber only giveaways. And if you want to be automatically entered into monthly giveaways, check out the memberships. Until next time, see you out on the course.